Now we're going to discuss art in the brain. Now, the brain essentially has two hemispheres. You have the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. The left side, it dominates in tasks dealing with language, speech, analytical thinking. The right side is more dealing with, bringing ideas together, intuition, skills that relate more to drawing, painting, all the arts, dancing, and so forth. Our schools and students are victims of half-brain education. So we emphasize the scientific, realistic, and verbal modes of thinking in school, and we neglect the opportunities for free organization, such as fantasy, dreaming, or open-ended ideas. The arts, especially the visual arts, is a force behind learning that deals with attitudes, values, and truth. Now let's focus on art and perception. I really enjoy teaching elementary art, and I love to watch my students as they experience new situations, learning with new media. They're learning by opening their senses, and they're discovering things and tying it into different situations and into different environments. And we as teachers need to give them freedom to experiment, let them ask the relevant questions, and just to encourage them. We have to remember that we perceive with the brain, the mind. The senses are the instruments that gather the information. Our perception deals with learning to take in that information. We learn through those senses, such as sight, touch, hearing, taste, and smell. This is a great list of items that you can use to just enhance visual learning. Telescopes, microscopes, magnifying glasses. I use magnifying glasses and we look at the fingerprints on our hands and then we draw those fingerprints and create a lined drawing. Prisms, mirrors. There's, just so many things that you can add that will just enhance visual learning. Now, when we're talking about things that we touch, things to fill trips would be great. Going outdoors, just touching things and understanding the concepts of soft, rough, if it's gritty, and, collect various textures. I do a project where we go outside and use paper and we just do crayon rubbings of different textures and then create an art project. Sound and listening sensitizers are not just limited to what we have here. Record sounds and conversations, even playing back sounds like from a website that people store different sounds. Trying to compare various moods of music, that would be a lot of fun. Having your students try to identify high, low, soft sound, long, short sounds. Space and movement, you can list and compare how we move through space at home, schools, and communities. You can even give them if you start here at the school, what directions would you take to get home? Being aware of comparative sizes, thinking about scales, levels, and ways to move through space, and list differences between indoor and outdoor environments. Some ideas to promote tasting and smell would be discovering flavors with your eyes covered, being blindfolded, decorating things such as cakes, cookies, sugar cookies. You can even do that for different holidays. And experimenting with foods from other cultures is awesome. You can even do like the food of the week. Now let's dive into creative thinking and imagination in art. We all have that source or that sense of imagination inside of us, and it really should become a priority in our lives. The artist gets his ideas from either commission work or self-stimuli, one which he decides for himself, and it comes from inspiration, and the mind, just thinks and explores ideas, and then the production of an idea, that occurs when the action actually takes place and the form is created, such as in an art project. The teacher can encourage creative behavior by experimenting with tools and media, looking at objects in the environment from many viewpoints and attitudes, be able to analyze objects in detail, bring together new ideas, remain independent with ideas, and think out and be inventive with many solutions for a single art idea. So art and creativity they go hand in hand. Art experiences can be the important motivators in creative thinking for all creative endeavors. The teacher should have a creativity space in the room, a table or corner where the students can go to invent, explore, manipulate, create, and paint. Art itself awakens the eye of the artist within you. Learning to look and see deeply is one of the secrets of learning to draw. So you have to be able to see to draw. Art is a nonverbal universal language. It is the creative and aesthetic merging of the eye, hand, and mind. Art learning and environments can be designed to encourage verbal and nonverbal forms of communication for optimal learning. Art offers the students opportunities for expressions other than with words, oftentimes expressing ideas that the student is unable to verbalize. And this is awesome for the lower grades. Art offers ways for students to relate to one another through involvement, abilities, and feelings. The importance of art is very, very broad. You can talk about terms of problem solving, critical thinking, gaining self-confidence, be able to make decisions, thinking about craftsmanship, making things neat and clean, talking about culture, traditions. And when it, gets down to the very basics of it, I really contribute or talk about success. Were you successful when you finished the project because you did a great job? Were you successful because you even took the time to do it and attempt it, even though you were fearful the way it would turn out? And success in thinking that, hey, I have the confidence to do it again. I've included the 10 lessons the arts teach, and once you go through there, it makes a lot of sense that art is very valuable in the curriculum. And then when you tie it with other subjects, you're not only making the arts more dynamic, but also you are just making learning fun for the student. Here we have the benefits of art, and they really tie everything that we've talked about together. How art is very stimulating. More than 33% of the kids or students are visual learners. It, helps them think openly. They can share and reflect their work through their art. And when you get down to the very last part, just remember art is valuable all by itself.